Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Ticket Weeknights. I'm Nicole alongside Connor Happer and Big Sky on the buttons. I was not here last week. I apologize. And my mom was in town, so couldn't take 2 hours out of my Monday to come in. I apologize for that. But what are you doing over there? Making a lot of ruckus.
Just getting comfortable.
You're not
settling in.
Lock in. Need you to lock in. So
locking in.
You can stream this on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch for the Twitchers, and we're on from 6 to 8. So fun show planned for you guys. We're gonna have Parker Gabriel on at 6:25, and then Jimmy Watkins of the Omaha World Herald coming in studio at 7.
Excellent.
To preview the big, long-awaited Peru State Nebraska exhibition game.
It's already here. Basketball time on Wednesday.
We sleep. When do we sleep?
In May and all the other months, but mostly in May.
So before we get into football talk, I want to talk about the volleyball team. I feel
I feel
like they've warranted it.
Yeah.
Not that they need to warrant anything, but okay, that's pointedly rude that they are talking about the Bears right now on Monday Night Countdown.
Yeah.
We will get to that. Maybe never. Hopefully we don't ever get to that. But Randy Moss is wearing a weird looking hat. Okay, the volleyball team, Nebraska Volleyball, they are on a 10-game win streak.
They're rolling.
They had a 3-game losing streak, lost 3 games, and they haven't lost since. So,
can you tell us why have they suddenly become amazing?
John Cook was like, "You guys, I'm not going to be coaching losers." Is probably what he said.
Well, I there are some motivational tactics in there, but so Lauren Stivrins comes back, right?
Correct.
She's been awesome. I pretty much overnight they became like, I don't really know what's happening here. To okay, they're back to being amazing game. What is happening with Lexi's son?
Good question. So she hits normally left side, right side. I don't know the correct terminology, but she hits cross court.
Okay.
And she's been struggling hitting cross court. Gotcha. So she is third, I believe.
Just not playing well.
Okay, yeah. We can just go with that. But I felt like you wanted more of a
No, I do. I do.
definition. But so if you watched the Purdue game, Nebraska kind of was sleepy in the first set, but then they ended up winning 3-1. They put Lexi in, and they put I don't have the roster in front of me right now, but freshman who's from Texas, who's also from Omaha, but the ones who are powerful cross court hitters were struggling, so they decided to change they decided to hit middle.
Gotcha.
Which is Kayla Caffey and Lauren Stivrins, and so.
Well, it's good to have options. And it sounds like they have a lot of them.
They do. So they're number 1 in the Big Ten. They're undefeated in conference play. They have a really exciting game. They play this week, Wednesday. Allie Batenhorst. That's who I was forgetting about. And then they play Wisconsin Wednesday night, and then they play on the road at Minnesota on Saturday.
This is Big Ten volleyball. It's serious all the time. Pretty much everybody that they run into is like a top 10 team, I feel like. Always.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way it works.
And I feel like it's kind of nice to have that right now as a palate cleanser, one would say.
Yeah.
When football's not doing amazing.
It is. It is nice to take out. So, okay, Wednesday against number 3, Wisconsin. Wow, that's huge. And then Saturday on the road at Minnesota. So, yeah. Those are 2. Minnesota's number 11 in the country right now. Nebraska is what?
They're 9, but 8. I think they might jump up.
Yeah, I mean, if they beat Wisconsin for sure. 3 losses, but those feel like they were forever ago. It feels like they were a completely different team when they lost those 3 in a row. Remember, we were kind of panicked about it a little bit. It's like, this isn't normal for Nebraska volleyball. And then, of course, they tweak a couple things and get rolling. And okay, so since they've lost the 3 matches in a row, they beat Northwestern 3-1, swept Iowa, swept Michigan State, beat Penn State 3-1, swept Rutgers, swept Indiana, swept Illinois, swept Iowa again, and beat Purdue 3-1. They've only lost 3 games in the last month and almost a half now. Like games, not matches, games.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. They've been awesome.
So it'll be a exciting Wednesday, packed to Vanny, I'm assuming. And then, I mean, there's also basketball. Is the exhibitions kind of jumping over to basketball? Is that open to the public?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Is it full, like, or is it limited, or?
No, it's. I don't think there's like, you mean like restrictions wise for how many people they're letting in?
Yeah, not COVID reasons, but sometimes, it's just not like
Well,
the upper bowl might not be open.
Maybe that just depends on how many people they get. I think that it'll be all the way open. I mean, my guess would be there'd be, I don't know, 9,000-10,000 people there on Wednesday.
Are you gonna go?
Oh yeah, I'll be at basketball on Wednesday. I'm ready to fire this thing up.
Wait, they play at 6?
Nebraska basketball. I'm not 100% sure.
And volleyball plays
late
at 8 again.
Volleyball plays at 8.
Well,
yeah.
they went through at 10:11. It went through the newscast at 10.
So basketball plays at 6. So yeah, you can.
So then you're just gonna skip on over to Devaney.
I don't go to volleyball games. I don't have a volleyball. Like, I've never done volleyball before. I've never. We've talked about this before. I've never seen a volleyball game in person.
Well, why don't you go?
I should. I don't know. I didn't get a pass this year. I feel like I should have.
Yeah. Missed opportunity.
Yeah. Well, and then, not to make too many excuses for myself, but there's right around this time of year, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh yeah, like what?
There are. Well, there's football, there's basketball, there's women's basketball. There's a lot.
Oh yeah, I forget you do that.
Yes. Which is awesome, and I'm excited to watch them. They have their first exhibition against Midland a week from tonight.
I want to get Coach Love on the radio show.
We should get Chuck on. He would do it.
I know he would.
Yes.
He told me just whenever you want me to come on. Because Amy and her staff were at South Dakota when I was at South Dakota.
Ah, that's right. Yes.
So a fun little connection. And then Craig Smith was at South Dakota when I was there. It's kind of like a weird pipeline.
Craig loved doing it. Like we had him on when he was the coach at like his last 3 stops, just like texted him on his cell phone, like, "Hey, come on the show." He's like, "Okay, anytime." It's for no reason. Like Nebraska wasn't playing him or anything like that. It's just like, let's talk basketball with Craig Smith. Great guy. Great. Now he's at Utah.
Great segment.
Yes.
So that's your volleyball dose. Lead the show with that, and then we have Parker Gabriel coming up at 6:25, and then Jimmy Watkins, the Omaha World Herald, coming up at 7. Nebraska football, fresh off the bye week. Did you enjoy your bye, both of you? Either of you?
Yeah. It didn't. It doesn't feel like a bye at times, but you will get another one in a couple weeks. I know the buys for us, especially when they leave us on such a stink bomb. It's not the most fun thing in the world, but I am once again trying not to complain. So I will not. It was good. I enjoyed it. Had a great week.
Did you go to the press conference today?
Yes.
And what would you say the message? What I watched some of it from home. Shout out my Vizio that has YouTube.
I thought they seemed refreshed a little bit, which is good and which is what you want to hear. I think there was a whole bunch of nagging injuries that they were kind of dealing with going into that game, and it was just the end of a long stretch. So I feel like you're past that a little bit now. You get to step away from a little bit, come back and feel refreshed about it. And that was the sense that I kind of got today.
Mm-hmm. I heard Adrian talk, I heard Ben Stilley talk, and then I heard Coach Frost talk. Coach Frost sounded kind of, I don't know, youthful.
Right. Yeah, he seemed refreshed.
He was kind of joking around with Sam McEwen a little bit, and wasn't short in his answers, just kind of refreshed. So
yeah, I hope that they can I hope that they can forget about what happened 2 weeks ago, but
yeah,
we all want to forget. Some of us can't.
That was my first, so I went to Minnesota. That was my first road football game, and it was just weird. I felt like I was in another, like the media level is 6 also at Huntington Bank Stadium. It felt like everything that I just felt like I was in like a transported world.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
But
and then you see this, you look around and you see the same people that
you see the same people, you see the same team, you're just at a different place. I don't know.
There's a big M instead of a big N.
It was very strange.
Just different colors.
But I did enjoy it because there's
Bizarro world.
A lot less people travel to away games. Not fans, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like media members. And like for Nebraska home football games, it is packed on the sidelines.
It's overwhelming. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that.
It is.
Because if I say it, people are like, what are you overwhelmed about?
There's a lot. There's just a lot going on. A lot of people, and people want to ask their questions and say what they want to say and stuff like that. About
Minnesota, the stadium, the first row of seats is pretty low to the field.
Yeah.
Where Nebraska's is low, but then you kind of have that gate that it pushes out on along the sidelines.
Yeah, that's such an old, like, that's the difference really between an old stadium and a new stadium. Like Nebraska Stadium, once upon a time, had a track on it. So like I was saying this when I was doing the broadcast for the high school game on Friday night. Like Burke is the home of the state track meet, and so there's a big track that's important to the field. So the stands are beyond that. And where, these new stadiums, like, they're not going to put a track there. You have a track facility. You don't need to have a track in a football stadium. And the same like it was in 1930 when they built half these stadiums. So you could put the seats right on top of the field. That was a long deal on
history lesson.
Tracks and stadiums and stuff like that. But yeah, you could put the seats right on the field, and that's what these new arenas and stadiums are doing. It's nice. It's better that way.
We have a couple sound bites pulled from the press conference today. Big Sky, how many do we have pulled? What do we got?
I have all three that you listed on the outline.
Okay, awesome. Let's hear from Adrian on the urgency that is going into this game and winning against Purdue.
You need to always have a sense of urgency. And we haven't lost that. We've had that at the beginning of the year, and we have it right now. There's a sense of patience when it comes to where this program is and where we know we can be, where we want to be, and having confidence in that. The urgency can't stop, and it won't stop. We obviously need this win, and it's a huge game for us.
Would you say that this is a winnable game? I had to get that in there.
I like that his gained popularity, because I played that clip. What was that? It's okay. I played that clip, right after it happened, because I remember when and I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. It was after the 2018 game when Purdue came here and won, and I believe the guy's name was Markel Jones. He walked right by Scott Frost when he had the comment earlier that week. He said, I think we'll go back home. Because remember, Nebraska got smoked by Michigan the previous week, and it's like, all right, we're going to go back home and we have more of a winnable game. And
was that Scott's first year?
It was Scott's first year, yeah. And it was after his third game. And and then after the game, it was Dan, right? Dan Corey, your former colleague, who got
R.I.P. He's not dead.
He just rolled right by and goes, "We had a winnable game," and in this mocking voice. And I thought it was the funniest thing immediately. And I've been playing it on my show ever since. And now it feels like people actually kind of, remember that, and it's a part of the Purdue-Nebraska rivalry history, which is fantastic.
What are your thoughts on it being at 2:30?
That's fine. It's probably better, I guess, than 11, considering this team and their ability to wake up,
have juice,
right? A lot of talk of juice last week, so it's probably good for them.
Do you think there will be another night game this year? So I guess it would just be Ohio State, but
the Big Ten tries to not play night games in November, but I from what I gathered today, Ohio State will not be at night. So do we have a time for Wisconsin? It's on the road.
No.
And then Iowa's at 1:30. So probably, no more home night games.
Iowa's at 12:30.
12:30. Gotcha. So what did I say? 1?
Yeah, 30.
Well, I missed it.
You have to be factually correct.
You're right. No, you're right.
This is this show.
It's built on facts. So
based on a true story.
That is
based
right.
on facts that happened. Okay, what else do we want to hear from Adrian? We want to hear, one thing that I kind of want to get into, I don't really want to get into, is the narrative of him coming back or not.
You don't want to get into this.
Is it necessary? Is it just like we're grabbing for some fruit right now? Do we don't really know what to talk about?
You don't find it interesting.
I just feel like we have.
There's definitely, now to your point, there's definitely time. Like we'll figure it out eventually, right? And this season's book hasn't been completely written yet, right? We still have 4 more games to kind of figure out what this team's all about. But I do find it pretty fascinating what his mindset is, and we haven't really got there with him yet. And then he's, obviously, if he doesn't come back next year, it leaves a huge question at the quarterback position. I don't know what they do.
Big Sky, let's go ahead and hear Martinez on if he is coming back or not next year.
Oh, 100%. That's after the season. There are too many things that are way more important than that right now.
Interesting. To my knowledge, it's the first time I didn't hear that today. I wasn't in the room, I guess, but
you had one job.
There's other stuff going on. People are out in the hallway. Sometimes I'm a hallway guy. I was probably talking to Nori Newilly or Casey Rogers about his 90-inch TV.
Nice. That's true. Does it have apps? Can he download apps on that 90-inch TV?
Unclear. He said he got it off a deal on TikTok, which I don't know what that is.
Wow. Maybe you and Nick can do that next. Anyways, so more seriousness. Adrian coming back. I just feel like it was not talked about. It wasn't in anyone's mind. And then it came up 2 weeks ago. And now it's like, wait, are we talking about this now? And I think we should just kind of wait it out a little bit.
I've been thinking about it the majority of the season, just from my interest level in it. I don't know. I guess it's only really that significant. It's significant both ways. If he comes back, and they run it back with this coaching staff, which I think they will at this point, and you basically are putting it all on the line again next year. Adrian will have been your only quarterback that you would have got a chance to do it with, which is super interesting to me. And then if he leaves, then you are going to go into this really, really crucial season. And, either you're putting it all on Logan Smothers or you're going out to find somebody in the transfer portal, an unknown commodity, or maybe a known commodity. I don't know. So there's some give and take with that one too. I find the conversation super interesting, and it's probably too early to ask, because what's he gonna say? Right? He's not gonna say I'm for sure not coming back.
I'm not gonna be here next year.
Right. So I get him passing on that right now, and that's kind of what I expected. But people are definitely thinking about it, and they're thinking about it too. They have to figure that out, and the quarterback position next year is obviously a big question mark.
I feel like this season has just left so much to be desired, and then putting that kind of in his brain isn't really going to be helpful going into needing to win 3 out of 4 games
Maybe not
to make a bowl game.
Yeah, probably not.
So
it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And there's arguments to be made both, this is what we always do. We always, as the public or the media or whatever, we try to make the decision for him, put ourselves in his shoes. What would you do? And there's an argument for both sides. I mean, he could come back and have another chance to flip this thing around and be statistically the greatest quarterback in Nebraska football history. He would hold every record. He would start for 5 straight years, which would be, incredible and crazy to think about. And he could, if this season doesn't end well, he could kind of make his own legacy and still have a chance to do that and stuff like that. If not, he could go. And I don't know what he has gotten back at this point in terms of, professional prospects. But he could also go somewhere else and play and have a chance to write the last chapter to his college story somewhere else. That's intriguing. And if he decides to split off from Frost, what does that say? So that's what rolls through my mind.
So intriguing to so many people, and I'm on the other side of let's just wait it out.
Come on, no, you're interested. You're like, what's going to happen here?
No, I'm not, because they're not going to make a bowl game. There, I said it.
It feels like they won't.
And then we're just going to have a super long off season. So if we're already talking about this narrative now, we're going to be talking about it for a long
Well,
time.
that'll be cleaned up quick though. That's like a January thing where you got to decide, what you're going to do before, spring or winter conditioning or whatever. So that'll get cleaned up pretty quick after the season.
January's 3 months away.
3 months away from now, but 1 month away from the end of the season.
Okay.
6 weeks.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and then on the other side of this is Parker Gabriel, and we're going to talk some football.
Tailgating wasn't just meant for weekends. Join 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday at Chick-fil-A for Tailgate Tuesdays. Scan your app with any purchase on Tuesdays and you'll be entered to win a tailgate meal for 15 people. That's chicken nuggets, fresh fruit, and iced tea or lemonade. Winners will be contacted each Wednesday, and you can come see Tom and Bach from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the 48th and O location or at South Point each week. It's Tailgate Tuesdays all season long at Chick-fil-A in Lincoln. Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket.
Venue at Home is your answer for locally made, freshly prepared meals delivered to your door every week. Our meals come ready to heat and eat. With sizes for 2 people or 4, Venue at Home is perfect for busy people who want a quick, easy, and delicious meal option to share with your roommates or feed the whole family. Add on from our wide selection of appetizers, sides, desserts, alcohol, and more. Receive a discount on your meals by subscribing to get Venue at Home delivered every week. Visit venueathome.net to order today. That's venueathome.net.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox, Kfxl Weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Your Kfxl Fox Nebraska weather. We'll see some patchy fog around this morning. Otherwise, partly cloudy with a high right around 57. Mostly clear skies into Monday night with lows bottoming out right around 43. Windy conditions expected on Tuesday with a high of 66 along with partly cloudy skies. I'm meteorologist Regina Bird from 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Take your tan to the max at Max Tan and tan for a can every day through the month of October. Bring in a can of food for the food bank and get a free tan from Max Tan. See maxtan.net for details. Tan for a can every day in October, only at Max Tan.
South Lincoln has a new place for you to catch all sporting events. The Upside Bar and Lounge is your destination for Monday Night Football, UFC fight nights, and more. It's a great place to meet friends to enjoy great drinks and food, with plenty of TVs to catch all the action. There's easy access and free parking and comfortable seating for groups. And don't forget happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. each weekday. There's specials every night, including taco night on Mondays and burger baskets on Tuesdays. That's at the Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Nicole Griffin.
Welcome back into The Ticket weeknights. How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. I was not here last week. I apologize. I had my mom in town and I wanted to hang out with her. But now I'm back with you guys. Big Sky and Connor Happer. And first part of the show, we talked volleyball, we talked football, we touched on basketball just a little bit. Busy week in Husker athletics. And Huskers fresh off a bye. And we are going to just go straight to our first guest, Parker Gabriel. He joins us on the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Parker, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good. You sound very serious. Why are
Yeah,
you so
extremely serious. Always
serious?
extremely serious.
Yeah, this is
It's a serious show
this
for
is
serious people.
we're supposed to be having fun.
Oh,
So my first question,
Parker, where's your fun voice?
I'm
There it
sorry. You start over?
yes. Okay, we're gonna start over. Ready? We're gonna go to the Honda of Lincoln hotline where Parker Gabriel joins us. Parker, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Amazing.
that was really fun.
There we go. Okay, my first question is against Purdue. Is this a winnable game or not? Stop laughing.
Winnable game, biggest game of the year, biggest game of Frost tenure.
Some might say.
Toss up.
Must
Yes,
win.
all of them. Everything that's been said about every game so far this year, this is definitely another game.
We are kind of in that season though, right? The I don't know, narrative, whatever, the everything is a referendum on the program. I mean, because they have unfortunately put themselves in that position where it's like, yeah, well, this stuff matters a lot now, and every little detail matters a lot.
Yeah, it's the second time in 3 years. 2020 is different. Obviously, with where they ended up, they could have played in a bowl game. They decided not to. But in 2019 and this year, they have a team that you look at and you're like, okay, this team should probably play in a bowl game. And then they just really put themselves behind the eight ball. They did that in 2019, where it was like, hey, you're going to have to beat some really good teams down the stretch in order to get to six. Or obviously, in that case, maybe even to a greater degree now, where you got to win 3 out of 4 probably against Purdue, and then everybody knows the November slate: Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Iowa. So yeah, I mean, everything. I don't know. It's like you said, we've been calling it a referendum season on our podcast at the Journal-Star, and that's what it just. It's not my job to decide whether it's a referendum season, but that's what it feels like. I mean, when you every week that's what it feels like, and so that's with that comes the sense of like every week is a big swing one way or the other, and Purdue is more that than maybe you would have thought a few weeks ago, just because they had played pretty well until not playing well against Wisconsin on Saturday.
Do you think that there's any reason for concern about the team lacking juice going into this game? Obviously coming off a bye, but they've lost 4 out of the last 5.
Well, I think there's naturally some concern about that, because you'd think that there's a I don't know about like a breaking point. That sounds really dramatic, but like at some point it's hard to keep believing that it's going to turn around this year when you don't see it and you don't see it and you don't see it. But at the same time, it seemed today, we talked to 7 players, I think, and Frost, obviously. I mean, the bye week helps. It helps to get away for a day or two, just to clear your mind and to have a little bit of a break, and then you get back into it and it's like, okay, here we go. So I don't know. I'd be surprised. I said this before the Minnesota game, and I was surprised. For the most part this year, they've played with a lot of energy. I'd be surprised if that didn't happen against Purdue, especially because they're coming off a bye. They'll be fresh. The legs will feel good. That doesn't guarantee a win or anything like that, but you would think that with a 2-week, 2 games on the schedule here before the next bye week, it should be easy to ramp it up and have a lot of energy for a couple weeks before you get another week off.
Parker, what's on the line in the final 4 games of the year? Like, does it go all the way to, the coaching staff coaching for their jobs? Are we there yet? Or I guess if that's not the case, what is on the line in the final 4 games?
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, like concretely. I think it's always an evaluation. As much as supportive as Trev Alberts has been so far, and as complimentary as he's been, and as much as he's probably known some of these guys for a long time, like there's always evaluation happening, and in particular when a new athletic director takes over. And on top of that, like I think you play out the string at this point, right? There's only 4 schedule, there's only 4 win totals you can really end up with at this point. The worst of those, like 3 wins would be bad for everybody. There's just no doubt about it. Like that's not, if you're a head coach, if you're an assistant coach, that outcome probably makes you very nervous. Now, I mean, we can sit here and say, well, that's not going to happen, or I don't think that's going to happen, but you got to go win a game to make sure of that. And you probably got to go win a couple games to make sure, I mean, I don't know, 4-8. Like, I know that these things aren't about win totals, but I think so essentially then is what's on the line. You want to try to win 3 out of 4 and make a bowl game. And even if you don't do that, there's got to be, in this conversation about being close and about being 1 inch away and all of that, like, I think that they need, and I don't mean need in the sense of like in order to keep a job or whatever, but the program, like those guys need to win a game, a big game. And Purdue might not even count in that conversation, fair, unfair, or otherwise. Like you might be talking about Ohio State, Iowa, Wisconsin. Like you can keep, like Ty Robinson today said that one of the things that Tony Tuioti talks about is hitting the stone. You might hit the stone 100 times and it doesn't break, but the 101st might be the time that finally the stone cracks. And that's sort of where they're at. But like the other option in that is you end up walking away from the stone and saying this thing's never going to break.
Yeah.
And the way that happens is if we heard Trev Alberts talk about this recently, if you're never rewarded for the work you put in, at some point you question whether the work's worth it or not. And so I just think for the psyche of everybody, but for the players and coaches in particular, a big notch on the belt somewhere between now and the end of the season seems like an important thing to get something out of this year that's tangible, to sell to recruits on the road, to buoy the fan base a little bit. A month from now, the season might be over, a month from tomorrow. So that all of that, like time is ticking to actually break through and accomplish that, whether it's the only win in the last 4 or 1 of 3 or, whatever the situation is.
Smells like it's got to be Iowa. I don't know. It's like, so Purdue might not do it. Wisconsin is, and maybe they look different in a couple weeks, and they have certainly looked better, and what they did to Purdue on Saturday was relatively notable, and Ohio State might go the other way. Like, I don't know. It kind of lines up to me where that Iowa game is awfully important.
Well, I think I think that there are 3 games out there to be had down the stretch. Now, I'm not saying I think they're going to do it, but there's no reason with the way they've played at times this year. There's no reason they can't beat Purdue. There's no reason they can't beat Wisconsin. Now that's going to be tough. Like Wisconsin, they found something in their run game the past couple weeks. They've won, I think it's 3 in a row now. Not exactly a murderer's row. It's Illinois, Army, and Purdue. But even still, they've won 3 in a row. They're in the hunt still for the West. And Iowa, Wisconsin and Iowa are similar in this conversation in the sense of like Wisconsin's defense is just really good all around. Iowa's has been really prolific in taking the ball away. Neither's got that much going on offensively. So you don't expect one of those teams to show up against Nebraska and win by 3 scores or something like that. So there's 3 out there. Now, Ohio State's rolling. I think they're obviously the best team in the conference. I think they're going to win the East and go back to the playoff. And they might be, I don't know, if you look around the country, like outside of Alabama, I don't know who's more dangerous in a playoff scenario to Georgia than Ohio State at this point. But that's another conversation. The other 3, I just think there's wins out there for Nebraska to get, which sort of goes back to the last point that we were making, which is with gettable games left on the schedule, if you don't find a way, none of them are going to be easy, but if you don't find a way to get them, it only sort of heightens the question of, are you capable of getting them at all?
Parker, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, I guess. Then.
Do it.
Okay, here I go. Is it realistic that this team wins 3 of the next 4 games?
Well, I mean, conventional wisdom, if you look at the season to date, the answer is no. They've been bad in close games. They've turned the ball over at inopportune times. If Frost said this on Wednesday, it's really true. There's been games where they've made game-winning type plays on offense, and then they've given up a drive on defense. And there's been times where the defense has made game-winning type plays, and then the offense can't cash it in. They just haven't been able to put that all together. And then, oh, by the way, special teams had a couple of catastrophic errors early in the season too. So conventional wisdom would tell you no. That's what they're going to be close games, and Nebraska has been really, really bad in close games record-wise. At the same time, like, if you just look at them as each in their own right, Purdue, Wisconsin, and Iowa, like, yeah, I think they can win each of those games. So to at least some degree, I think they could win all of those games. But the biggest problem that Nebraska has had this year is that the distance between could and reality just has been way outsized. There's no other way to say it. Like, they haven't come close to maximizing what they could have done against teams that they're, about evenly matched with. They're maybe not quite as good as Michigan, and they're probably more talented than Illinois for sort of like the two ends of the spectrum, but they lost both those games. And so, like, can they? Yes. Will they? The data this year so far would suggest no.
Are you, Parker, this is Parker Gabriel joining us from the Lincoln Journal-Star. Are you making much out of the Adrian Martinez coming back or not narrative right now? Or is it kind of too soon to be talking about that? That's what Happer and I were talking about in the first segment.
Yeah, well, we asked him about it today because I do think I thought it was interesting to ask him on a bye week. You get away a little bit, and maybe that stuff creeps into your mind more than it does when you're at the facility every single day and grinding it out for 8 straight games and all that. And he said that he 100% has not made that decision, hasn't given it a lot of thought. That'll be after the season. I mean, I'll take him at his word for that. One day you might think one way, one day you might think another. Not just Adrian, but anybody when you're in that sort of situation. So we won't hear anything from the horse's mouth about that until after the season. I think that's almost guaranteed. But it's just, there's some guys that have really interesting decisions to make about, do you come back for another year or do you not? Do you go to the NFL? For most of the guys, it's probably like, are you going to roll the dice in the draft process or come back? There's some guys where the decision is threefold, come back, NFL draft, or go somewhere else. Adrian's probably got what will be the most closely watched and maybe the most interesting out of all of those players who have that decision to make, and certainly not going to be an easy call. And so I think we are much more likely to be talking about what he decides in December, or if they make a run to a bowl game, maybe not until January, rather than in the next couple of weeks.
It's interesting, Parker, because normally when we run into a situation like this where, and it happens every year, there's a guy who's probably got an eye on the NFL draft, or he looks like he's going to be drafted. Usually the conversation in the fan base is like, okay, is he going to stay or is he going to go? And every fan wants him to stay. Not every fan wants Adrian to stay. Like, this is right. A really unique situation. And then, like you said, he also has the third option of going somewhere else and doing it too. It's endlessly intriguing to me.
Yeah, there's so many wrinkles to it. I mean, and some of them probably have obvious answers. Like, I'm guessing that Scott Frost and Mario Verduzco are like, if he wants to come back, we definitely want him back. That's probably the case. Next year, assuming the coaching staff's all the same, is going to be a really, really important year. Then you've got other quarterbacks. It's like, okay, you're waiting one more year, and then who's on the transfer market. And there's just so many elements that go into it. And at the end of the day, the first piece of the puzzle and the biggest piece of the puzzle is Adrian Martinez at some point after the season sitting down and making a decision, okay, what is best for me? And that's how it's going to start. And then it'll go from there. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fascinating thing to watch play out. And he's not the only guy, you know, I mean, there's other guys on this roster. There's certainly a lot of other quarterbacks around the country who are going to be in some variation of a similar situation. And so, you know, it's just like people like I have, like you say, I mean, there's some people who are like there's people in my Twitter mentions today saying bench Adrian for the last 4 games to see what you've got in, you know, Smothers or Harburg or whoever. And it's like in 2021, the equation is not who's going to start between those two guys in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Is Adrian coming back? Maybe one of those guys. Shoot, maybe Richard Torres if he's healthy, or like literally anybody else in the country who might transfer.
Yeah.
So it's not as like you would never. I think teams are way less. Well, Nebraska's not going to do it anyways, but teams are a lot less likely, I think, to just sort of wave the white flag and say, let's see what we've got in a young guy. Because you don't even. That's not even necessarily the decision you're making about quarterback or whatever the position is going forward with the way that the transfer portal works now.
Okay, Parker, I have one more for you before I let you go. Coming off the bye week, which group, what is it called?
Position group?
Position group. Forgetting the P word. Which position group do you want to see the most from? That's a very open-ended question, but
yeah, no, it's a good one though. I like it. I will say the defensive line. I thought like Michigan and Minnesota are 2 of the best teams in the conference in terms of rushing the football. But Nebraska wore down a little bit there. They were really good in the first 2 of that 4-game conference stretch. They were really good against Michigan State, really good against Northwestern. You know, you had one team that was really good running the football, Michigan State, one team not so much, Northwestern. And then it got a little bit leaky as it went along against Michigan and Minnesota. And so I think that group's got something to prove. It's going to be a little bit of a different challenge this week. Purdue's much more of a pass-first offense. But the next 2 weeks against Purdue and then certainly against Ohio State, that group has a big challenge on its hands. And you know, we'll see if they're up to it to show that, yeah, I mean, maybe they wore down a little bit or whatever against Minnesota at the end of that 8-game stretch. But I think they could use a resurgence, and I think that they're capable of it. There's that word again, capable. We'll see if it happens.
Awesome. He is Parker Gabriel of the Journal-Star. Thanks for joining us and spending your Monday with us.
You bet. Have a great night, and Hap Dog, we'll talk to you bright and early tomorrow.
Thanks, Park Dog.
Great energy. Way to end it out really well. That was Parker of the Lincoln Journal-Star. You already saw him today. Hung out with him. You're going to see him tomorrow or chat with him tomorrow.
That's right.
I only get him on Mondays for 20 minutes.
It's always productive. You always learn something.
What'd you learn?
Well, he just opened up my brain even further on the whole Adrian Martinez, but not that I haven't thought about a lot, but it's, you know, it gets more interesting by the time that people talk about it.
We are on different ends of the spectrum on that.
You'll get there. Don't worry.
We are going to take a break, and on the other side of this, we're going to close out the hour with On the Fly with Big Sky.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your KFXL Fox Nebraska weather. We'll see some patchy fog around this morning. Otherwise, partly cloudy with a high right around 57. Mostly clear skies into Monday night with lows bottoming out right around 43. Windy conditions expected on Tuesday with high of 66 along with partly cloudy skies. I'm meteorologist Regina Bird from 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Welcome back, Husker fans. Eustace Body Shop is happy to welcome the best fans in college football back to Lincoln. With gold-class certified service, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop can call the right place to keep you in the game. Whether it's in Lincoln at 88th and Highway 2 or at any of our other 5 locations across Nebraska, Eustace Body Shop can help get you back on the road. Go Big Red.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health.
Beatrice Bakery has been serving Nebraska with one-of-a-kind Grandma's Fruitcake since 1964. You already know that, but did you know they offer way more than that? You've got to try their line of liqueur cakes, like the strawberry daiquiri cake or the vanilla rum cake. Or what about their breakfast breads, the banana nut bread, or their various streusel coffee cakes? Whatever the occasion, Beatrice Bakery has something for you. Oh yeah, and Grandma's Fruitcake? It's still pretty darn good. Beatrice Bakery, located in downtown Beatrice, or always online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Tailgating wasn't just meant for weekends. Join 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday at Chick-fil-A for Tailgate Tuesdays. Scan your app with any purchase on Tuesdays and you'll be entered to win a tailgate meal for 15 people. That's chicken nuggets, fresh fruit, and iced tea or lemonade. Winners will be contacted each Wednesday, and you can come see Tom and Bach from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the 48th and O location or at South Point each week. It's Tailgate Tuesdays all season long at Chick-fil-A in Lincoln.
South Lincoln has a new place for you to catch all sporting events. The Upside Bar and Lounge is your destination for Monday Night Football, UFC fight nights, and more. It's a great place to meet friends to enjoy great drinks and food, with plenty of TVs to catch all the action. There's easy access and free parking and comfortable seating for groups. And don't forget happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. each weekday. There's specials every night, including taco night on Mondays and burger baskets on Tuesdays. That's at the Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Venue at Home is your answer for locally made, freshly prepared meals delivered to your door every week. Our meals come ready to heat and eat. With sizes for 2 people or 4, Venue at Home is perfect for busy people who want a quick, easy, and delicious meal option to share with your roommates or feed the whole family. Add on from our wide selection of appetizers, sides, desserts, alcohol, and more. Receive a discount on your meals by subscribing to get Venue at Home delivered every week. Visit venueathome.net to order today. That's venueathome.net.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Nicole Griffin.
And welcome back. We are closing out the first hour of Ticket Weeknights with Nicole Griffith, as we do every show. And by every show, I mean maybe every other show, is with On the Fly with Big Sky. Big Sky, take it away.
Hey, I won last week. Or 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah, there was no show last week.
Yeah, I was gonna say that no one won last week.
But I'm 1-0-1 and never lost.
I
never lost.
I actually took a massive L for an hour last week with Nick and DP on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't even podcast. I took such a massive L.
They just made fun of you the whole time?
Yeah. I'm a nerd, according to DP and Nick.
What would you like to dive into?
No, I'm not going to dive
into
it again.
All right, got it.
I would like you to dive into it.
I'll tell you off air, Nicole. We're not going live.
This is my show, and you do what I.
We're doing On the Fly with Big Sky.
I'm just kidding. Okay, On the Fly. Go ahead.
In a tiny neighborhood in Richmond District in this West Coast state, self-driving Waymo cars have been converging at all hours of the day and night, mystifying neighbors.
So West Coast.
Oh, I thought you said East Coast. Richmond?
You said West Coast, right?
Yeah, I said West Coast.
Virginia. No.
California. This is obvious.
Oregon.
California.
It is California.
Yeah.
Oh.
Obvious.
It's San
California.
Francisco is where the Richmond district
I could have
is.
guessed that
Oh.
even more specifically.
No, you wouldn't have.
I mean, San Francisco sounds like the only place where this would happen in the entire world. Cars were getting together because they
Yes.
wanted to hang out.
Yeah, they're just driving themselves there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a meetup.
That's in San Francisco.
Okay, whatever. Next.
That's one.
We have sad on the fly. A zebra that escaped from an East Coast farm has died, officials say.
East Coast. Oh, sad.
Out northern East Coast.
Pennsylvania.
How has said zebra died?
I didn't get that far into the article.
Well, I'm curious.
This is about headlines, Happer.
Let's say that this happened in Maryland.
Oh, Happer's 2 for 2.
Hello.
I hate this game.
Everyone knows that zebras live in Maryland.
And for our international on the fly headline, Carmen Mola was a popular novelist. 3 male writers from this Spanish-speaking country made her up.
If I go 3 for 3 here, I'm gonna
So it's not Spain.
take a victory
because
lap.
that's too easy, right?
It is a Spanish-speaking country.
Venezuela. I don't like
That's
that.
Portuguese, isn't it?
They speak Spanish.
Brazil is Portuguese, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know Brazil is Portuguese. I don't know if Venezuela
Is it a South America country?
Happer already took his guess, and he didn't have that kind of information.
Well, it doesn't matter. He's up to nothing.
Yeah, I've already.
It is
clinched.
not a South American country.
Spain.
It is Spain.
Damn it.
Yes.
We'll give 2 points for the international.
What?
correct
It's
answer.
a tie?
We tied. Never lost.
This is a garbage game. I still have never lost.
Okay, Chicago Bulls.
Never lost. Me and LeVar Ball. Still.
Lonzo, you mean?
No, LeVar. That's what he said. When they asked him
Oh yeah,
if he ever played 1-on-1 against Michael Jordan or something like that, he said never lost.
with the Bulls talking.
Do you remember LeVar Ball and that whole there was a LeVar Ball moment?
Yeah, he was on. He got on the herd for a day.
Nicole remembers.
I didn't enjoy him.
I didn't either. I don't think anybody really did, but it was a thing for quite a while.
I don't understand how he didn't parlay LaMelo Ball's actually good rookie season into more buzz.
I know.
Do you see LiAngelo was signed for less than 24 hours?
Yes.
Well, it's because they waived him so they could send him. They basically signed him to the NBA contract so they could have his G League rights, and he wouldn't have to go through the G League draft where they'd have a chance of not getting him.
Gotcha.
So they signed him to an NBA contract to drop him back down.
I didn't
to the
know
G
that,
League.
Big Sky. That's good. That's a good fact.
Wow, you're so smart.
This is what scrolling endlessly on social media has gotten.
But yet we don't know how the zebra died.
Okay.
I will look up how the zebra died.
I
during
don't
the break.
appreciate your non-empathy towards this zebra.
Let the zebra rest in peace.
Yes.
In Maryland. Well, I want to know to escape. Oh, they're still roaming.
Nope, the official said they died. We have sources on this. NPR reported it.
Jeez.
I watched NPR today.
Okay, NPR.org. The owner of 3 escaped zebras in Maryland has been charged with animal cruelty. Oh no. I didn't want to know about this.
It was caught in a snare trap. There you go. Now everybody listening to the ticket has that in their mind.
I apologize.
Your thirst for knowledge.
My thirst for knowledge bites me yet again. Never want to know more.
So then who wins that game?
I think I won.
We tied 2-2.
Only by a technicality.
Yeah, I didn't do the make a tiebreaker for this one.
Well,
Nicole,
okay,
you're a
all right.
sore loser.
All right, here's
time
the
to suck it up. I won.
Here's the tiebreaker. For the win. What item from a popular
Chick-fil-A
pop culture film series do I own multiple of that was revealed last week on this show?
there was no show last
DP,
week.
Nick, and I did a show.
I didn't listen. Actually, I did. You ran my open, and I was having a slight panic attack in the car because I was not here.
Well, the log was already made, and we don't have anything that's just generic.
Please say the question again.
Okay. What item from a popular film series do I own multiple of? So it's an item in
Breaking
the film series
Bad
that I
meth.
own multiple.
Lightsabers.
Happer wins.
Yes! I win again!
You don't own a lot of meth from Breaking Bad?
I do not own a lot of
Do
meth.
you not hear me?
It's pretty funny. But I was more right.
Happer was exactly right, actually.
Amazing.
Okay, well, whatever. That's the first hour of the Ticket Weeknights. We are going to bring in Jimmy Watkins from the Omaha World Herald after this.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bengals and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Hi, Sean Callahan here. In 2013, I first came across Kfxl Chevrolet GMC in Louisville, and I've been a customer ever since. What's kept me coming back to Kfxl is the people. Oftentimes, owner Bob Kfxl and his son Brandon are right there with you in the showroom, walking you through the process. There's no runaround at Kfxl. It's a hardworking Nebraska company built on honest, small-town values. So make that short drive to Louisville or visit them online at KfxlCars.com.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all of our pricing on our website, plus a Kfx report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
Venue at Home is your answer for locally made, freshly prepared meals delivered to your door every week. Our meals come ready to heat and eat. With sizes for 2 people or 4, Venue at Home is perfect for busy people who want a quick, easy, and delicious meal option to share with your roommates or feed the whole family. Add on from our wide selection of appetizers, sides, desserts, alcohol, and more. Receive a discount on your meals by subscribing to get Venue at Home delivered every week. Visit venueathome.net to order today. That's venueathome.net.
South Lincoln has a new place for you to catch all sporting events. The Upside Bar and Lounge is your destination for Monday Night Football, UFC fight nights, and more. It's a great place to meet friends to enjoy great drinks and food, with plenty of TVs to catch all the action. There's easy access and free parking and comfortable seating for groups. And don't forget happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. each weekday. There's specials every night, including taco night on Mondays and burger baskets on Tuesdays. That's at the Upside Bar and Lounge at 27th and Pine Lake.
Take your tan to the max at Max Tan and tan for a can every day through the month of October. Bring in a can of food for the food bank and get a free tan from Max Tan. See maxtan.net for details. Tan for a can every day in October. Only at Max Tan.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox, KFXL Weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Kfxl Fox Nebraska weather. We'll see some patchy fog around this morning. Otherwise, partly cloudy with a high right around 57. Mostly clear skies into Monday night with lows bottoming out right around 43. Windy conditions expected on Tuesday with a high of 66 along with partly cloudy skies. I'm meteorologist Regina Bird from 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket.
Our business customers get more than just fast, reliable connections. They get service and support to meet all their voice, data, and TV needs. Because supporting your business is our business. Allo delivers peace of mind with a 100% fiber network, hosted PBX solutions, redundancy protection, and best-in-class service to back it all up. To get your free quote and switch today, visit allofiber.com/workfast or call 402-480-6685. That's 402-480-6685.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to Ticket Weeknights.
Okay, here's the deal with Nicole.
Live from Kfxl Chevrolet GMC Studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
You just gotta tell it like it is.
Nicole is, she's very wise.
Sometimes you're not gonna like it.
Here is your host, Nicole Griffin.
Welcome into the second hour of Ticket Weeknights. I'm your host, Nicole Griffith. You can watch this on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook Live, or you can listen on the radio or live on the website, 93.7 The Ticket. It's been a good show so far. We had Parker Gabriel on, talk some football, talk some volleyball, and now we're going to talk some basketball with Jimmy Watkins of the Omaha World Herald. Jimmy, how's it going?
I'm going great.
Um,
You almost read my name without looking there. That was pretty good.
I know who you are. So you are on the basketball beat for the Omaha World Herald. How long? So you are Chris Heddy's replacement.
That's me.
That's
New Chris Heddy.
New Chris Heddy.
Welcome.
R.I.P. He's also not dead. He just
moved away.
moved away from us. So, how long have you been here?
About going on 3 months.
And what's basic question, but what's it like covering the Huskers?
It's crazy. The people are into it, which is both good and bad, because on the one hand it means people are reading and hopefully appreciating what I'm doing. On the other hand, it means you get vaccine arguments started in your Twitter mentions when you were just trying to talk about offensive line play or whatever it was on that day. But it happens.
It does. Big week for Husker hoops.
Indeed.
So they how did they finish last year?
Not great.
7-21? 7-21?
How could I forget?
Yeah, tough
They
deal.
have 14 wins in 2 years.
That's correct.
It's
It's 7 each of the first two for Fred.
It's not good.
Wasn't Fred like 5-33 in Big Ten play?
I think that sounds about right. Yeah.
People forget.
I don't think people have. I think certain people would like those people to forget, but people have not.
They were 7-20 overall, and then last year was
COVID.
Okay, so COVID is going on 2 years, and it is confusing my brain.
Right.
So they lost to Penn State. Was this when it was like canceled and Fred was sick?
That was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Are you talking about the Big Ten tournament?
Yes.
Yeah, from 2 years ago.
So they lost to Penn State in the Big Ten tournament by 6 points.
That one was normal. They just normally lost to Penn
Well,
State.
I believe they were up big in that game. So
Yeah.
not super normal, but yeah.
No.
Maybe normal for Nebraska.
Yeah, no, normal.
So big week this week. They're hosting Peru State on Wednesday, and then also Colorado at 11
a.m. on an NFL Sunday on Halloween.
What?
On Halloween.
Why is it at 11 a.m. on a Sunday?
Didn't make the schedule.
Sign me up.
That wouldn't have been my
It's the
choice.
best possible choice for Halloween, like especially on an NFL Sunday. Like you don't want to play at 3.
I mean, I'll play at 9.
Maybe at
On
9.
the NFL
Yeah,
Sunday, I'll play
yeah.
at 9.
I'd rather get out of the way early. I'm fine with the 11.
9
thing.
a.m.
Oh, 9 a.m. Yeah. Sure.
Ew.
It's not like it's on TV, like it's on BTN Plus or whatever. They could have put it wherever they wanted to.
What is your over/under scoring prediction for Peru State?
Oh,
For overall or Nebraska?
Both.
I think Nebraska can score as many points as it wants against Peru State.
Do you think they'll score 100?
I'll throw as a number to mess around with. I'll say 140.
that seems like a lot.
140.
100. I don't think they're going to get to 140, but they could definitely get to 100.
Combined. I'm saying
Oh,
combined.
140 combined.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So they
let's
beat
say-
McNeese State.
McNeese,
State
yeah.
102-55 last year.
Yep, I remember that. They played. That was actually like their best game of the year.
And everyone's like the dream team.
Right? They looked great.
Nebraska's updated roster is
Yeah.
the dream team.
And they were better than they were the year before that last year. So I'm curious, Jimmy, like when you've seen the team a couple times now, seen them practice, like what do they actually look like to the untrained and especially on Nebraska ball trained eye, because we have this certain like picture of what they are, what they have been, like what do they look like to you?
Well, even for me, because I haven't been to any of the open practices.
Right.
And how many has there been?
One open practice
Okay.
and one opening night all-star game type
Right.
deal. They look like a Fred Hoiberg team. They're going to hoist up a ton of threes. They are going to play super fast if they can play good enough defense to get the stops that will allow them to do that. And they are going to, on their best days, move the ball very well, play pick and roll, draw defenders into the paint based on the pick and roll, and zip the ball around the 3-point line from there. In their best moments, they look like an unstoppable, offensive machine. I haven't seen. There's what Fred's been talking about a lot during press conferences is emphasizing them making the simple play and not going outside of the offense too often. I haven't seen too much of that, but I think we all can kind of discern what that looks like. It's one guy probably doing too much dribbling and all that
and
stuff.
you get down in the game, it's, all of a sudden, and that's kind of what they turned into last year a little bit. And they had a guy in particular who was known for that, and he is no longer here, but and he was not a great fit for this offense, Teddy Allen. And so they can, I think they have a couple guys who can score in bunches this year, but making the simple play is super important.
So Jimmy Watkins is joining us, the Omaha World Herald men's basketball beat reporter. What are you hoping to get out of the exhibition games?
Oh, any clarity on bench rotations would be super nice. I feel like I know with a bullet who the starters are going to be. It's Lonzo Verge, Trey McGowan, Bryce McGowan, Lat May, and Derek Walker.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be pretty darn surprised if that's not the first five that Fred rolls out Wednesday, Sunday, and then on November 9th against Western Illinois. After that, I know they like Wilhelm Breidenbach.
He feels like a lock to be in the rotation.
I know.
Also, Happer likes him a lot, so
can't confirm.
I like him too. He's very, very skilled for his size.
He's like a bull.
After that, it's a lot of guys like the backup guard minutes. Everyone loves Keisei Tominaga, and rightfully so. That dude is a ball of fun and can shoot from anywhere, from any angle, it seems like. But can he defend well enough to earn consistent rotation minutes? I don't know the answer to that question.
Maybe if you could bring him in as a specialty guy, like there's a spot for that.
Sure.
But you got to feel confident about where you're at. Otherwise, I feel like they'll get it. I feel like they'll get it to not 8 or 9.
Sure.
Fred said the other day they were at like 12 or 13.
Sure.
So they have some cutting. They have some, moves to make.
Wilhelm, I feel really confident about.
I agree.
CJ Wilcher,
I agree.
I feel pretty good about. Kobe Webster, just because he's got the institutional
experience.
Yeah, I feel good about it. And he's a great shooter as well. Then we're talking, Eduardo Andre was a backup 5 last year. Is that going to continue to be the case? Are they going to play? Like, how much Wilhelm are we going to see at the 5 would probably determine a lot of that. Keon Edwards is this, former really highly ranked dude. Where does he fit into this equation? He's a really good athlete. I don't know how good of a shooter he is.
He said, I remember talking to him early. That was actually one of your first days, if I remember, on the
when we were
on the beat, over at the Devaney Center, and he was like, I'm a sharpshooter, and I was like, oh, you are?
Yeah,
I didn't see that on tape. That's interesting.
He made a couple of he made one deep step back 3 on opening night. And then I think he made a couple other ones during that, but I don't know how much stock to put into that. And I didn't see him take a ton during, he didn't practice during the opening practice. That's right. He sat out that one. So I just don't know. He's got a lot of buzz behind his name in the recruiting circles, but mostly due to the fact that he had COVID, it didn't work out at DePaul. So I just don't know where to place him in this.
Who are we missing?
We still haven't said Oleg Kojenets.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening this year.
Probably not happening this year.
How about Karan McPherson?
That's it. Well, he's someone who is kind of like the inverse of the Keisei question.
Yes.
We know he can play defense. Can he shoot well enough to earn the minutes? Because they're already going to
consistently. I don't think
so either, but that would be the question. Can he, because if they're going to play a traditional big at the 5, if that's Derek or Andre, they already have one non-shooter on the floor. You don't want to play with 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can do a lot of different stuff with those guys. So I'm with you. I feel like the 5 that you mentioned, Verge, McGowan's, Lat, and Walker are going to get the first nod. And then a Wilcher, I think, is a lock to be in the rotation. Breidenbach is a lock to be in the rotation. And then you can kind of play around with the other spot.
I would throw Kobe probably in there with a lock too. I find it with as much locker room cachet as he seems to have, it would be strange for him to not have a significant role.
He's an interesting case because I don't think he brings as consistent of shooting to the table as, say, Tominaga brings.
Well, that's the other thing.
And he doesn't bring in as much defense as McPherson brings.
Right.
I don't think so. He's kind of like the halfway point
But
of
with
those two guys.
but with Casey, he looks lights out in everything that we've seen. There is one more step I'd like to see him do it in a real Division I game setting.
I agree.
I mean, the open practice that we saw, I don't know how much different it'll be from that. And he was awesome in that too.
It was
but
amazing.
There are some weird situations where the lights turn on and the shooting isn't at the same for a lot of guys. I'm not saying that's going to be the case for him, but
no, I'm with you.
I got to see it all the way.
I'm with you.
It's fun just watching you guys nerd out about men's basketball.
I am once again intrigued.
Very intrigued. Tapper's been very intrigued. That's good. It's good for you to be intrigued.
I stay intrigued.
One thing that this team has that Fred's teams haven't had the past 2 years is returners and then also size. So some of the really tall guys, Wilhelm and Oleg, are young, so they might
skinny
and small. Like they're big, but they're small. If that makes sense. And then but how just beneficial is it finally having size in the Big Ten?
I still worry about the size a little bit because I ran some numbers and it didn't end up fruiting too much, but I think Nebraska's average front court player weighs like 7 pounds less than the rest of the Big Ten's average front court.
That's interesting.
Which is like, is that enough of a difference for me to throw that in a story? I don't know, but I did the math on a calculator. So I'd like to show my work here. Basically when we're talking about size for the Big Ten, they're not that undersized unless we're talking Hunter Dickinson, Kofi Coburn, Trace Jackson Davis, those kind of. I mean, Trace Jackson Davis is shorter, but these bulkier dudes that I still think they might have a problem with. But it certainly helps to have like someone who can at least stand eye to eye with Hunter Dickinson. That's an upgrade to be certain. But I think what's more interesting about that group than the size is the skill that some of them bring, like what Happer was referring to with Wilhelm. Dude can shoot it. Dude can actually like put it on the floor. Like I've seen him run a fast break before, and that's like crazy. I've seen him like dribble behind his back. This is, in high school against other high school players, but he did it. He dribbled behind his back in the open court and like ran a fast break. I saw it on one of his high school highlights. That dude, all the coaches have been raving about that dude since the second I got here, and I could see why.
We often talk about Tominaga as like he's going to be a phenomenon, and he is. There's no doubt about that.
I would say at opening night, he might have gotten the loudest bump from the crowd.
Oh, he went to complete star status that night within the fan base. But Wilhelm is, I've been talking about this, and it's a weird like request that I have, I guess, of Nebraska basketball. They haven't had a guy who, you look around at all these other Big Ten teams and you're like, man, that guy's been around for 4 years. What the hell is he still doing there? Like, I'm so annoyed by him. I hate him. Brad Davison. This is a great example of this.
Is he there?
Wilhelm. Yeah, he's still there, by the way. Wilhelm is Nebraska's version of this. He is going to piss so many people off.
This is a friendly show.
He's going to make people angry.
Thank you.
And people are going to be like, why is this guy so good? I'm very confused by him.
Wilhelm?
And he'll be here for, 4 years. Yeah, it's going to be...
and
people are going to notice him quickly.
He'll have a statue built of him
with his goggles.
With the goggles.
Yeah.
What I worry about with Wilhelm is that he gets too much. He gets to a level of local fame where he cleans up the beard and like he has like a Hot Boy Summer.
Oh no, he
deal.
goes pretty.
Yes, he goes pretty honest. Now the goggles have to stay forever, but I just worry that
he'll have a
he's gonna
glow up
clean
at some
too
point.
Much. That's because right now I feel like he's an NIL darling, like waiting to happen. We just need one 16-point, 10 rebound performance from that guy.
I like
and
him.
He's on the face of somebody's burrito stand.
I like. He should be immediately. He takes all that stuff in stride too. Like you could directly ask him, like, "Hey, you're kind of weird looking, but like, what? And
what?
Seriously, this has been a conversation with him before, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know. Like I get the whole deal. But I just play."
We've all been kids. Like if you look like that, it's going to get brought up on the playground. People don't ignore that sort of thing.
He's great. He's great. He's really mature about it.
Nicole, were you not picked on? I'm getting the feeling that you don't know what we're talking about.
She was picking on little Wilhelm on the playground.
I was not.
You're either bullied or the bully. So
get or get got. Yeah, so we're not gonna. I have no further comment on being mean to Wilhelm's appearance.
We're not being mean. We try not to be mean anyway. I don't think it comes off as mean.
We're analyzing his headshot is what we're doing. We're breaking it down like we would film.
Oh, Texter said Aaron Kraft. It's another great example. Guy that was just in the Big Ten for a long time, super annoying. Like,
Perry
why
Ellis.
is he still there? Perry Ellis is the Big 12 version of this. Yes. Like, why is that guy there? And why is he so good? And I think my prediction is that Wilhelm is that guy for Nebraska. And I think Nebraska needs one of those. Nebraska needs to get this, like, they need to have somebody in the conference or teams in the conference like feel some type of way about them. They just haven't, like, they've just been Nebraska basketball. They have a different team every year. Hoiberg's like this really nice, likable guy, and everybody, I feel like they could get a little, they could stand to have a little streak to them.
Yeah, they needed some juice to them. They need a rival.
Their last NCAA tournament team had while we loved them around here because they went on this awesome run to the NCAA tournament, it wasn't a very likable team. Like, they had a bunch of guys who just were junkyard dogs, like scrapped and got after it. And they got in, skirmishes with a whole bunch of teams. They weren't really a likable team, and people felt feelings toward them because of that. I think Nebraska needs a little bit of that.
I think Trey has some of that dog in him.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
McGowan's, that is, for the listeners. Not the other. We haven't talked. Have we said Bryce's name yet? This might be the longest anyone has gone talking Nebraska basketball without saying Bryce McGowan.
You did say Bryce in the starting lineup.
That's true.
But that was it.
Nicole, people forget about Bryce McGowan. Can you elaborate?
So he is a 5-star recruit that the first 5-star went to basketball over football. That's all I know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, I know more.
Our resident fact checker.
Bryce is I saw him at volleyball, the Purdue volleyball game.
Bryce makes the rounds.
He was wearing
he's a Husker fan.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was wearing all yellow jumpsuit, and I was just kind of like, what are we doing?
Bryce dresses like a basketball player. He does all the time. On the football sidelines, he's wearing like a quarter zip or something. Jordan.
He's tweeting about Nebraska football.
Yes.
Like he's doing the whole, like, he's being a very good ambassador of Nebraska athletics, which
I bet you Bryce has like some piping hot Adrian Martinez takes.
No doubt. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get him on the show.
That's actually a good idea. And he goes on with DP occasionally, but yeah, we should get him on and ask him, like,
because you're so intrigued by the 2 a.m. discussion.
Oh, I am. I do wonder. I wonder what he would say about football, but yeah. Anyway.
Well, this is Jimmy Watkins joining us, Omaha World Herald. Jimmy, this is not an interview, but tell us about yourself.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Okay, here's something about me. It's not like the whole thing, but
okay,
something about me being a new person in Lincoln.
Yes.
I turned 26 over the weekend.
Happy birthday!
Wow. Yes, happy
Thank
birthday.
you. And because I just moved here, I hung out with my mom on my birthday.
Yeah,
my mom flew in.
Great move.
And
we love moms.
We do. We love moms, but she had a heck of a time. I just caught myself there. Heck of a time getting
family show.
Family show.
It's a mom-friendly show. And she had her flight canceled. She was supposed to come in Thursday, got canceled. She comes in Friday, very late. We lose Friday. Saturday, we have a great day. But like on Sunday morning, she's like all quiet the whole time. And then I'm like, all right, we're going to monitor this, but I'm not, you don't want to dig too deep. I don't want my mom to break down is what I'm trying to get at here.
Sure.
We get to Sunday. I'm dropping her back off at the airport.
Oh no.
We get to literally I'm at her gate. It's like time to get out of the car. And she's just like not moving.
Yeah.
And then she bursts.
That's it.
She bursts.
Oh no.
She's crying. And I'm squeezing her hand and she just misses me. That's basically what it is. She was sad to leave because I hadn't seen her in like 6 months. So this was supposed to be a bigger weekend. And we still had it. I took her around the stadium, showed her the press box, like my little label where I sit and stuff. She was very proud of that. But yeah, there's a glimpse into my weekend. Mom was here.
That took a turn.
So you're from Ohio, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and where?
Cleveland.
The land.
Very
and you had lived there your entire life.
No,
leading
I was
up
born
to
in Los Angeles and moved to Cleveland when I was 9.
moved to Cleveland when you were 9. And then were you anywhere else before
Florida, Kansas.
Florida, Kansas, Nebraska.
Yep, I've been around.
Okay. It's quite the movement.
And now he's in Lincoln, Nebraska.
What were you covering in Florida and Kansas?
In Florida, well, that's not chronological. Florida, I was an intern at a radio station.
Oh,
actually,
there you
ESPN West Palm. Shout out to those.
Oh, yeah. We
people.
always see them at Big Ten
They
Media
sculpted
Days.
me.
They
Yep.
love Big Ten Media Days.
They love media days in general. They do
Yes.
send people.
Yeah.
And then where was I? In Kansas, I was at the Manhattan Mercury covering Kansas State and high school stuff.
Excellent.
And now I'm here. But
Covering
okay,
the Skurs.
Nicole, I told you I was going to do this. I
Yes.
want to ask you a question about you that I don't think you've explained to your listeners
Yes,
yet.
Nicole on the hot seat.
Nicole just no, that's not a big deal.
You can't ask it.
Nicole just
so-
moved. I'm doing it anyways. Nicole just
Okay.
moved. How's your new place going?
Yeah, I did just move. It's good. It has some growing pains, just like getting used to it and adjusting to a few things, but it's going well.
And you were also your mom helped you move in too, right?
She did. Yeah.
How did that go?
It went really well.
No tears on your end?
Not on her end.
Okay.
Just thought I would clarify that.
No further questions.
Let's
Right.
just say the Wayfair Entertainment beautiful TV stand I got was a little difficult to put together.
Okay.
And my Vizio TV that Happer picked out for me is having
I will not be taking the blame for this.
it's a whole thing, but I'm a little upset with what constitutes a smart TV.
She's mad that you can't get the apps. So the smart TVs, they have these apps.
Sure.
And you can download them, but not the specific ones that you need.
Yeah, like on a Roku, you know how you can just download the apps?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to buy a Roku when I have a smart TV.
Can I give you some advice that
Go
you
for
can't possibly follow? You should have been a bigger nerd when you were a kid. If you played video games, you would have a system and you would be able to do all of this on your PlayStation 4.
That's a
like
great
I
point.
do.
That's a great
Like I
point.
do. You would have none of these problems.
Yeah, if you got an Xbox or a
It would
PS5 or
cost you
whatever,
$0 extra to do this.
you
too.
just download all the apps onto there. Maybe that's what you should have done.
Maybe you should have bought me a PS5.
You should have got a PS5
Well,
or a Chromecast, like I said.
but yeah, it's good. I appreciate your intuition. So we're just stop laughing at me. I'm adulting is what I'm doing right now. Okay. That was Jimmy Watkins, Omaha World Herald.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Thanks for joining us. Big week for Nebraska. They play Peru State. Jimmy is taking the over-under at 140 points.
I feel like I went too low. That's
Yeah,
okay.
no, yeah, that feels okay. It's not bad.
We will see. And we'll see if we ever have you on again, if you're just a huge liar. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back after this.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, sewer and water underground repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. That's Select Plumbing at 402-560-6197.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox, KFXL Weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Kfxl Fox Nebraska weather. We'll see some patchy fog around this morning. Otherwise, partly cloudy with a high right around 57. Mostly clear skies into Monday night with lows bottoming out right around 43. Windy conditions expected on Tuesday with high of 66 along with partly cloudy skies. I'm meteorologist Regina Bird from 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here. In 2013, I first came across Kfxl Chevrolet GMC in Louisville, and I've been a customer ever since. What's kept me coming back to Kfxl is the people. Oftentimes, owner Bob Kfxl and his son Brandon are right there with you in the showroom, walking you through the process. There's no runaround at Kfxl. It's a hardworking Nebraska company built on honest, small-town values. So make that short drive to Louisville or visit them online at KfxlCars.com.
Have you been to Barn Wood and Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barn Wood and Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary. Handcrafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barn Wood and Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
You may be eligible for free 500 megabit internet from Allo if you've been financially impacted during the pandemic or received federal support. This is Brad Moline, president of Allo Communications, and I'm proud to say that Allo is supporting the FCC's Emergency Broadband Benefit Program. We're committed to providing everyone in our fiber communities access to high-quality internet. To find out more, please stop by our Allo store or go to allofiber.com/EBB.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed. Also, the Army National Guard's education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Take your tan to the max at Max Tan and tan for a can every day through the month of October. Bring in a can of food for the food bank and get a free tan from Max Tan. See MaxTan.net for details. Tan for a can every day in October. Only at Max Tan.
Back to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Nicole Griffin.
Welcome back in. Happy Monday, everyone who's listening. I'm joined with Happer and Big Sky. Monday Night Football is just getting underway.
It's Geno time.
It is the Saints at the Seahawks, and the Seahawks just scored.
Oh, is that DK? Yes. Ooh! Is it time for my fantasy minute?
No, it's 30 seconds, and it's not time because I will tell you when.
Is it time for my fantasy 2 minutes?
Shut up. Stop talking. Wait, Big Sky, do you have a fantasy team?
Nicole loves when people talk about their fantasy teams.
What do you think I was doing on the floor for the last 30 minutes?
That's okay. Honestly, there's only 3. I wish you guys, you can watch the show on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. And we had a guest in Jimmy Watkins. So there was 4 of us in here, but on the stream, it only looked like 3 because there's only 3 chairs and Big Sky was sitting on the ground.
I didn't see the folding chair that's right there that I normally sit in because it normally leans across on the wall over there where those black marks are. So I didn't think the chair was in here. And so I didn't think to grab it, but that would have been a much better.
Folks, DK Metcalf already has almost 15
Shut
fantasy
up.
points.
It's not your time.
Just saying.
DK's on my fantasy
You
team
didn't
as
turn
well.
the air off.
I did. It
I can
just doesn't
still
go.
feel it.
It's off.
Okay, it is a tiny bit chilly in here, so I'm trying to do my best.
We're trying to keep Nicole as comfortable because she might just quit if the conditions are not up to her standards.
So last week I didn't have a show, and Jake texts me and he goes, "No show tonight," and I respond with, "I quit."
And it was believable.
And he proceeded to call me 3 times.
Really? Oh my God. What are we going to do?
And I said, "I'm just kidding."
People
Gosh.
on the text line are begging for the fantasy hour.
No, they're not getting it. sucks to be into fantasy.
Okay.
Big Sky, oh my gosh, should Big Sky do it too? You guys each get 30-second updates?
I think Big Sky would give up his 30 seconds for me to get a full minute.
No, you literally gave up nothing. You literally said nothing last time.
Non-binary potato heads are out of the playoffs already. Dumpster Fire is the second best team.
Wait,
in
are you
its
guys
league.
in the same league?
No.
Oh, sad. How many teams do you have?
I have 2, but I only care about one of them.
What are they called?
Dumpster Fire and the Fighting Big Sams.
What does that mean?
It's Sam Ellinger.
I
love Sam
Don't you know
Ellinger.
this is his bit?
It's not a bit.
He loves.
I have a Sam Ellinger jersey.
The Texas guy?
He's
Yes.
an Indianapolis Colts quarterback now.
Big Sky.
No.
I only know like 4 things about
that's Carson Wentz.
I only know like 4 things about Big Sky, and one of them is that he just loves Sam Ellinger for some reason, and is like convinced that if he ever went into an NFL game, he would just like take over the league.
He would.
And it's one of the weirdest things.
Okay, but you're a huge Nebraska fan, and you're obsessed with a Texas quarterback?
Well, he's not a Texas quarterback anymore, so
But
it's
he
okay.
was. On principle, Jameis Winston letting it fly.
And almost picked.
And he overthrew in. Oh my gosh. Okay, cornerbacks and safeties when like the ball wasn't even close to being catchable, and he's like, "Not on my watch. You weren't even near it."
This smells like a Nicole rant.
Bro, nope, I'm not ranting. No, I'm just.
Why not?
Happer really wants me to do rants, and you can't force the rants.
You're right. They have to come up organically.
They
But
do.
also, if you have one like during the week, write a couple notes down, bottle it up.
I have sent you my rants before.
Well, just bottle them up, put a little cork in it,
I can't.
and
I
then
have to.
uncork it when it's time to do the radio show. You only get 2 hours a week. It's time to rant.
I am a verbal processor, so once something is bothering me, I have to get it off my chest ASAP. I can't bottle; it's bad. So I feel my feelings, and you never have to worry about me having okay, I will have a breakdown, but you don't have to worry about me bottling it up and making the breakdown. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out some texts I've sent you that are rants. Let's see.
Could be anything.
Seems like you should have some fantasy football talk for filler while Nicole's looking.
I don't think so.
Somebody's wondering. Quentin's wondering if they could call in, give his 30 seconds.
Sure, he can call in.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone call. I want to help people.
But even if they're giving their fantasy football update,
this
is a crossroads.
I just don't want to hear Happers.
Interesting.
Because he's so passionate about giving it, we have to teach him to calm down.
One day I'll have a fantasy 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, hear about this one. Maybe the run the ball should be. I can't say this one out loud.
I don't remember this one.
Maybe instead of saying run the damn ball, you should find a running back coach and a player who can run the damn ball.
Oh, see? Now we're talking. This is the stuff that people want. This is spicy.
Every
once in a while, once in a while, you have a spicy Husker football take that I'll just be like, huh, wow, where did that come from?
And I'm just shy because I don't want to say them because
That's okay.
Now I'm dying.
It's karma.
No fear of failure, Nicole. Come on.
That's Ryan Held just getting after you right now.
Here's me ranting about my Vizio TV not letting me download apps.
And I just kept telling you to download to get Chromecast, and you just got increasingly mad.
Shut up!
Stop telling me to get a Chromecast.
I was like, why did I buy a smart TV if it can't do smart things?
Yeah, all these could be rants. So just for future reference, like I don't know why we haven't made this a bit. It used to be a bit on the podcast I did, but the dream journal.
Oh.
You have dreams. You wake up in the morning. It's the only time you're going to remember anything about the dreams. You write down whatever you can remember, and then you put it away. And then you look at your dream journal a little bit later. It's like, oh, wow, that was a crazy dream. I remember that. You could do this with rant journal.
Maybe I do have it on my notes, and I'm just not telling you about them.
Okay. Well, whenever you want to uncork one, you feel free. It's your show.
That is true, but I don't want people to not like my show because because if I rant, it's considered whiny. If guys rant, it's considered.
Oh no, it's considered whiny when I rant too. I just do it.
So is that guy going to call in and
People
give us
can
30
attest to that.
seconds?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if Quentin calls in.
Gosh, now I'm going back on all of my rants. Oh, remember when the red flags bit was going around?
Yep, still don't fully understand that one. I mean, I guess I get it. You just put up red flags, but
How dare you steal your father's car?
what was that one?
I don't want to tell you. I can't tell you on live radio.
You were not here for the Buki Black Flags, were you?
No.
So let me tell you this little story time with Happer. All right. There used to be this guy. Still is this guy. He exists in the world. His name is Brendan Radley Hiles. He was a major recruit. And he was all in. He was he was sending out signals that he was very, very interested in Nebraska. And his thing was like black flag emoji. Why? I'm not sure. But every once in a while, he would just tweet out a black flag emoji. And then he committed to Nebraska. Everyone loved him. He was going to be the next, borderline 5-star defensive back for Mike Riley's squad. And then they got fired and he went to Oklahoma. And then he transferred from Oklahoma and went to Washington. That's the Brendan Radley Hiles story. Black flag emoji.
Oh, okay.
So if you ever see a black flag emoji, that's what it's in reference to.
Noted. Okay, Happer, now is your time for your 30-second update.
I would just are we starting right now?
Well, I'll set the time, but what were you going to say?
No, it was about fantasy football.
Go for it.
So if you're in a league that, you offer somebody a trade and the person comes back and offers you a BS trade back, don't even negotiate with them. It's not worth your time.
Red flag.
You are operating in good faith and they want to come back and see what they could get off of you. No, just stop negotiating with them. That would be my fantasy tip of the week.
That's not a bit.
I had to pick up a running back. And are we starting right now? I had to pick.
No.
Are we ended already?
I haven't even started.
Okay, go ahead.
On your marks. Okay. This is Happer's 30-second fantasy football update, where he only gets to talk about fantasy football in these 30 seconds because I don't care about fantasy football.
So Nicole will shut her ears and not listen.
And go.
So the non-binary potato heads are horrible, as previously mentioned on the show. So horrible. And by the way, everybody was in bye week death this week. So it got a little scary out here. It got so scary for me that I had to pick up and start from the waiver wire Le'Veon Bell, who got 0.4 points and has been a complete disaster. The only person who's saving my fantasy week this week is DK Metcalf, who currently has one catch for 84 yards and a touchdown. And I'm still only going to score 75 points.
Boop, 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 boop. Okay, Big Sky, would you like to go?
Do I only get 30 seconds?
Yes.
I'm a disaster under pressure, so sure, let's go ahead.
Okay, now Big Skies, is this dumpster fire or is this the Fighting Sam Allingers?
This is Fighting Sam Allingers. They have lost my attention, so it's only dumpster fire now.
Okay, this is now a new addition to Happer's 30-second update. Is Big Sky will now be a part of it. And ready, set, go.
Dumpster Fire is currently leading in their Week 7 matchup, 117-73. This would continue a 3-game winning streak. We're 4-2 on the season, and I would like to echo Happer's sentiment on trades. I was looking for Teddy Bridgewater this week to start in place of Dak Prescott. I offered a fair trade of Corey Davis for Teddy Bridgewater. I think there was a running back involved as well from my side. So 2 for 1, and they countered with Teddy Bridgewater
3,
for Cordero
2,
Patterson, which is a hard
1.
no.
Absolutely not. Thank you, Big Sky.
And that's it. And we're done. Great. Good job, gentlemen.
We're both Team DK and both team operate in good faith while trading with your league peers.
So I'm going to open my heart up a little bit right now.
Oh, good.
I have one. It's in there. It's in there somewhere. So Chicago.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh. Why are the boys fighting?
Don't fight DK. It's a bad call.
Oh, boy. Who's that? Lattimore?
Yeah.
He's the guy who gave up the Minneapolis Miracle? No, that's Winston.
No.
Nobody? No one knows? Okay.
I don't know who gave up.
It was Marcus something.
That was with a W. Anyways.
Open up your heart.
My heart. I need some I need some therapy. I need some love because, Chicago Bears, they lost a really close game to the Bucks. And I mean, they were really, really showing their best effort. And and it's just, I'm having a really hard time processing this 38-3 loss.
No. How do we feel about Justin Fields at this point?
I just feel like he's really young.
Okay.
And
but he was also pretty bad.
He had 5 turnovers, but it happens, right? Also, is he getting set up for success? The Bears O-line, awful.
Go.
And Matt Nagy just tested positive for COVID. Does he actually have COVID, or does he just not want to watch this team play anymore? Because
maybe they'll get better without him. He seems like he's probably going to get fired pretty soon.
Yeah, he's on the hot seat. So
yeah, that seat's pretty hot too. I don't know. I had higher hopes for the Bears this year.
So did I.
They're worse than I.
They're 3-4 right now,
which I guess doesn't seem so bad on paper, but they got destroyed. They've gotten destroyed in the last couple of games.
It was like 21-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was bad. It was over before it really even started. You got Tom Brady'd. It happens.
The Bears have beat the top 2 seeds in the AFC though. Bengals and Raiders.
They did beat the Bengals.
Oh yeah, that was before we thought the Bengals were good. That was in the beginning of the year, right? So I've had some people reach out to me and they say, "You got to pick another team."
No, you don't. No.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
So please calm down. Over there.
Not calm.
Happer, please chill. But yeah, it's just, what do I do? In my long life of being a Bears fan,
you just keep rolling. That's what you have to do. There's no way out.
Really, the only joy I'm getting is that the Chiefs are broken.
That's very fun. And I just get to sit here and watch everybody be sad about their NFL teams. It's actually one of my favorite things to do.
So you don't have an NFL team?
I don't have an NFL team. I just get to laugh at everybody else's NFL teams.
And you're huge on fantasy football?
I like fantasy football. I wouldn't say I'm huge on fantasy football.
Makes no sense.
I believe in the competitive spirit amongst friends and peers.
Do you have money on your team?
I do.
How much?
There was a small entry fee.
How much?
It was like $100 or something, $50, something like that.
100 or 50? There's 50, kind of a difference.
I don't know. But then there's some side bets. You play to win the game, Big Sky. Don't look at me like that.
You said small and it was $100.
I am in one league.
You said small. I was like, okay, $5. I thought my $20 buy-in was high.
What?
I think it was 50 this year. I think it was 50.
You said 100 and quickly backtracked to 50 when we both looked at you.
I enjoy the competitive spirit that, putting your money on brings.
I thought I had to sneeze for a second. Okay, well, we're gonna take a break, and I'm gonna try to sneeze, and we will close out the show next.
Have you been to Barnwood and Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barnwood and Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary. Handcrafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barnwood and Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, sewer and water underground repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. That's Select Plumbing at 402-560-6197.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed. Also, the Army National Guard's education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Hi, Sean Callahan here. In 2013, I first came across Kfxl Chevrolet GMC in Louisville, and I've been a customer ever since. What's kept me coming back to Kfxl is the people. Oftentimes, owner Bob Koppel and his son Brandon are right there with you in the showroom, walking you through the process. There's no runaround at Koppel. It's a hardworking Nebraska company built on honest, small-town values. So make that short drive to Louisville or visit them online at koppelcars.com.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
You may be eligible for free 500 megabit internet from Allo if you've been financially impacted during the pandemic or received federal support. This is Brad Moline, president of Allo Communications, and I'm proud to say that Allo is supporting the FCC's Emergency Broadband Benefit Program. We're committed to providing everyone in our fiber communities access to high-quality internet. To find out more, please stop by our Allo store or go to allofiber.com/EBB.
Take your tan to the max at Max Tan and tan for a can every day through the month of October. Bring in a can of food for the food bank and get a free tan from Max Tan. See maxtan.net for details. Tan for a can every day in October. Only at Max Tan.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket, sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health. The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket, sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health. Back to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Nicole Griffith.
Okay, that intro, I really heard the enunciation on if. Griffith.
Nicole Griffith. People accuse Big Voice Bob of not saying Schaefer correctly.
Not accusing. I'm simply stating. Just thought I want to get that out there.
Okay. No accusing here.
I am Nicole Griffith. People call me Griffin. I kind of roll with it. I mean, DP has
said
said it.
Does it make you mad? Does it make you angry? Does it make you feel some type of way?
I don't feel anything ever. So, thought I would just. I do feel some type of way towards chips and margs in the fall because that's my only diet really because we work late and that's the only thing that's open at night. But no, like Kevin's done it on air before, DP's done it. Wow. They just they'll just say Nicole Griffin joining us and it just kind of like rolls. I think it's easy. It just kind of whatever. I'm not going to throw a fit about it. bigger issues going on. Like the fact that Nebraska could go 3-9 this year. But
That's a good attitude.
yeah, it's just a name.
Just let it go.
I'm not going to let it fester.
Good.
But that sounded great. Big voice pop.
Griffith.
But my Twitter bio is Nicole Griff.
Confusing.
Because Nicole Griffith 1011 is the max is 15 characters on Twitter.
Oh.
So I couldn't do Nicole Griffith 10.
Right. That would make less sense. Yeah.
Nicole
you could have done
Griffith
N
1.
Griffith.
I don't like that. I like Nicole on there.
You could have. Yeah. There was no other way you could have done it then.
Yeah. No, there's not. So
Nicole Griff. Nicole Griff it is.
Nicole Griff. Griff dog.
Griff dog.
Girl Griff.
Girl Griff.
Griff Trillion. Shout out if you're listening right now.
The other Griff.
We've never met, but
He was here that one day.
We are mutually connected by our last names. So, big week. Some would say it's the biggest game of the year. I am talking about high school football playoffs.
Yeah. Where are you at? Do you know where you're at this week?
I do not know where I'm at. No,
Okay,
but
you won't know until later.
I will have my gloves. I need to go buy some new gloves. I'll have my hand warmers, and I will have a hat.
I will be on the roof at Gretna's press box for Lincoln East Gretna on Friday at 6:00. And you'll be able to hear it right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you going to be ready for that game?
I'm very ready. Yeah.
Well, I mean, last game you were cold.
I was cold. Yeah. I should have dressed warmer.
Do you wear boots or do you guys just wear tennis shoes?
I just wore shoes. I think I wore these shoes probably.
Because I wear boots, like snow boots, kind of.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know if it'll be that bad. I hope the wind isn't, too much of a factor. But look, it's anything goes. And then my guess is we'll probably be off for a couple weeks as far as high school football is concerned, unless there's some sort of an upset that's unpredicted at this point, and then we'll be back for the finals and on Thanksgiving week, and then we'll be up in the big press box.
So we have Lincoln Southeast is a number 10 seed. They go against number 7 Omaha Burke, and then like Happer said, the 12 seed is Lincoln East, and they're at Gretna, who is the 5 seed. So 5-12 seed, love to see it.
The 5-12 matchup. You get one upset every year. Will it be in Class A? Who knows?
And before we head out of here, the World Series. Good versus evil. The Astros versus Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Who you got?
I'm rooting for the Braves. You have to root for the Braves. The Braves are the only likable team really in this entire, the ALCS and LCS. So the Braves.
Okay, and how many?
Braves in 6.
I was going to say that.
Are you going?
Okay, so I looked in.
You have 30 seconds.
I have friends who live in Atlanta. Game 5 is in Atlanta. I thought about it on Sunday. I looked into flights about flying down there. Probably wouldn't go to the game because it's probably heck of expensive.
Definitely.
But just go down there. But they are flying flights out of Lincoln and Omaha to Atlanta in a week's notice are not cheap. So I will probably not be going. So I have Atlanta in 6.
Braves in 6. We're on the same page.
We will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Want a free pair of Nebraska